This first problem, these first two problems, they're in your student journal, page 337. You can talk to me after. Page 337. Are these prisms or pyramids? Prisms. Tells you in the directions. But also, how many bases does a prism have? 2. How many prisms does a pyramid have? 1. Yes. Prisms have 2 bases. Pyramids have 1 base. Well, all right. I'm waking up. Prism has 2 bases. What is the shape of the base in the first problem? Triangle. Because there are 2 triangles. So to find the volume of any prism, it is the area of the base. So do I just write 1 letter?
No, you don't.
No. Why do you guys keep writing 1 letter as this formula? If you don't understand that the book says volume equals base times the height, what does the capital B stand for? The area of the base. It's not just one side. It's not just the height. It's the area of the base. So it doesn't stand for one thing. It stands for a whole ground of things. So on the first, we said the base is a triangle. So what is the area formula for a triangle? 1/2 the base times the height. All right, so what is the base of our triangle? 3, yep. And then what is the height of the triangle? 1.5. All right, so what is 1/2 of 3? 1.5. So you'll have 1.5 times 1.5. It is not 3. It's okay. It's 225. Oop, that's not a 5. 225. Because 15 times 15 is 225 too. Yeah, you added. So volume equals the area, which is 2.25, times the height. Is the height always vertical? No, it's not. Stop talking.
It separates the 2 bases.
It separates 2 bases. So what separates these 2 bases? 5. So you're going to... that's not a 5. Well, I'm struggling. 2.25 times 5. 11.25. Centimeters cubed. Are there any questions on this first one? Okay. The second, what kind of base are we given? A pentagon. Yep, a pentagon. So, it already told me the area of the base. And what area is that? 10. So we take the area of the base and we multiply it times the height. So what is the height of this entire prism? 4. So 40 inches cubed. Questions on either of these? Okay. All right, so finding the missing dimension. So here's what I want you to write. Whenever you're finding the missing dimension, or it'll say find the indicated measure, this is not anywhere in your student journal, so you can draw it off to the side. On page 336, you got a bunch of blank space there. Alright, so whenever you're finding the missing dimension, you want to plug in the area formula. So I would write down when you're supposed to do this, because the class that didn't write that down, they struggled with knowing when to and when not to. Here's what I mean. Number 6, what is the shape of the base? It's a rectangle. So we got a rectangle right here. So volume equals, this is a prism, so it is area of the base. What is the formula for area of the base? Length times width. All right, so area of the base times what? Times the height. So in this case, it looks like L times W times H. So from here you plug in what you know. Do we know the volume? Yes, what is it? 240. All right, length, width, and height. Does it actually matter which one I label to be which? No. Not really. The way that I have it outlined right now, it'd be 5 times, what's my width? What letter is that? S. And then the height is 8. Does it matter what order you multiply in? No. So technically you have 5 times S times 8. So what's 5 times 8? 40. So you technically have 40S. Because order of multiplication does not matter. What do we do to finish this problem? Divide by 40. So 6, what are we at? Meters equals S. The next one. What kind of base do we have? A circle. So volume equals the area of the circle. What is the formula for area of the circle? Pi r squared. Then times the height of the entire prism. So what is the volume of number 7? 1244. Do we know the radius? Yes, we do. Sometimes you won't know the radius and you'll have to solve for it. Do we know the height? No. What did they label it? T. So I'm going to plug in T for H because that's what they called the height. If you don't, it doesn't kill you or anything. So 1244 equals, what is pi times 6 squared? 36 pi times T. So how do we get T by itself? Divide by 36 pi. Let's type it in. You should get 11, I believe. 11 inches. So these two are simple. Sometimes you'll be asked to find the radius, in which you would have R and then the height plugged in instead. Questions on these two? All right. We're going to go back into your student journal. Page 243 is where number 9 comes from. 243. 343. I just can't do it today, Lucius. I don't even know. So, it says find the indicated measure. Again, when you see this instruction, you want to plug in the area formula. Area formula. Because most of the time, you're going to have something missing from the area formula. What I mean by that, volume equals, do we have a prism or a pyramid in this problem? Pyramid, second word. A pyramid, the formula for a pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. All right, so we're just going to read the problem for a second. A pyramid with a triangular base has a volume of 18 cubic centimeters. The height of the pyramid is 9 centimeters, and the height of the triangular base is 3 centimeters. Find the width of the base. So, we're going to plug in everything that we know. Do we know the volume? Yes, what is it? 18 equals 1/3. The area of the base. What kind of base? What shape base do we have here? A triangle. So technically it's 1/2 base times the height. This is the area formula for a triangle. And then it's times the height of the whole pyramid. All right, so I'm going to keep reading. The height of the pyramid is 9 centimeters. So which H does it represent? The height of the triangle or the height of the whole thing? The height of a whole thing. So this out here is going to be a 9. The height of the triangular base is 3 centimeters. So that goes right here. Yes, ma'am.
Can I have Abby Carter for a minute, please?
Yes, ma'am. You wish. All right, so 18 equals 1/3. Does it matter what order you multiply in? No. What is happening between all 4 or 5 of these things on the right side? They're all being multiplied. So you can multiply them all at once, which is what a lot of you would do. I won't. What is 1/3 times 1/2? What's 2 times 3? 6, so it's 1/6. Times, what's 3 times 9? 27. And then you still have b. So all I did was multiply the two fractions, multiply the two whole numbers. From here, you're going to multiply what is 1/6 times 27? 4.5. Alright, so what do we do to continue to solve? Divide by 4.5. So 4, what is it, centimeters, equals the base. You what? What happened to the 9? I did 3 times 9. I did 1/3 times 1/2. So that's where that came in. Any other questions? Okay, you guys try the second one. All right, what is the volume they gave you? 384. Equals 1/3. Are you missing any of your triangle? You're missing the height of the entire thing. So we're not missing the height of the triangle. You got 24 and 8. So technically you have 1/2 times 24 times 8. And then do you know the height of the entire pyramid? No. Alright, so we got 384 equals 1/3 of, what's 1/2 of 24? 12. What's 12 times 8? 96. So you're going to keep going. What is 1/3 of 96? 32. Divide by 32. What do we get for H? 12, and we got meters. Finding the volume of the pyramid. Alright, so volume equals of a pyramid 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Alright, so what kind of base, what shape base do you have? It's not a rectangle, it's close. It's a square. Either way, you're going to multiply the two sides together and you get 16. So the area of the base is 16. What is the height of the entire pyramid? 9. Does it matter what order you multiply in? No. So what's 1/3 of 9? 3 times 16, you'll get 48 yards cubed. Alright, for the second, what shape base do we have here? No, that's a rectangle, yep. So, volume equals 1/3. What is the area of this rectangle? Yep, length times width. So we got 77. And then what is the height of the entire pyramid? 15. Again, it does not matter what order you multiply in. What is 1/3 of 15? 5. So it's the same thing as 5 times 77. So we get 300 something. 385 meters cubed. If it has a triangular base, do you still do length times width? No. So what number on this page is a triangular base? 1. Is there another one? Nope, that's it, number 1. because the first two problems, one of them is triangular base and one of them is not. So make sure that you keep track of that. We have one more that we're going to do together, and it is similar prisms. So you learned a formula for this in the last chapter, and we'll use it again in this chapter. When you have similar prisms, or polygons, or whatever, what do you put on the top? Volume of the first. And on the bottom? Volume of the second. And it equals, side from the first over side from the second, and what's happening to the whole being cubed. So keep in mind, sides are not always sides. This is the height. Sometimes they'll give you the radius. Sometimes they'll give you the base. But whatever they give you, that's what you're going to use. So, what is the volume of the first?
800.
Do you know the volume of the second? I'm going to put V. All right, what is the side from the first? 8. And what's the side from the second? 6. Can we reduce this? Yes. It reduces to 4/3. Why does it help to reduce? Yeah, so they're a lot smaller of numbers because 8 cubed is like 500 something. 6 cubed is 200 something. So 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. So that is 64. 3 cubed is 27. Once we have it set up like this, what do? Cross multiply. 64V equals, it's either 21,000 or 12,600. I don't remember which one. 21,600. Divide by 64. What does V equal? .5 meters cubed. All right. So here's what your classwork is.